Adana just found about this social media app called TikTok. At first, TikTok was just a fun distraction, a way to pass time while caring for her two children, Junior and Chimdi. She had seen other women go viral, dancing, lip-syncing, and pranking their husbands. Why not me? She thought. It started with a simple dance video in the kitchen while cooking. The comments flooded in. "You're beautiful. Wow, more videos please." The attention was intoxicating. Slowly, her priorities shifted. Days turned into weeks, and her phone became an extension of her hand. She started waking up in the middle of the night to check notifications, responding to comments while breastfeeding Chimdi, and sneaking off to film content instead of spending time with Junior. Emeka, her husband, noticed the changes but dismissed them at first. After all, she was just having fun, right? At first, Emeka ignored the growing addiction. But soon, it became impossible to overlook. The house was no longer as tidy, and meals were rushed. Junior, their 4-year-old son, often had to repeat himself to get his mother's attention. Baby Chimdi cried in his crib longer than usual. Adana's laughter filled the house, but it wasn't directed at her children, it was for the strangers online who showered her with attention. One evening, Emeka returned home and noticed Junior struggling to wear his socks. "Mummy, can you help me?" the boy pleaded. "Wait, baby, let me finish this video." Adana responded without looking up. Emeka sighed, kneeled, and put the socks on his son himself. He watched Adana twirl in front of the phone, giggling at her own reflection. That night, as they lay in bed, Emeka whispered, "Adana, you're always on that phone. We need you too." She rolled her eyes. "You don't understand social media success. Just let me be." One evening, Emeka returned from work, exhausted and hungry. He expected a hot meal, but instead, he found Adana sitting on the floor, live streaming, laughing at comments. The food was half cooked on the stove, burning. The children sat nearby, their stomachs growling. Furious, Emeka turned off the gas. "Adana, this is getting out of hand," he snapped. "Relax, I'll cook after this live," she said dismissively. That night, he went to bed hungry. When Adana finally finished her live, she found Emeka asleep with Junior curled up beside him. She felt a pang of guilt but shrugged it off. Her followers were growing. That was what mattered, wasn't it? Weeks passed, and the house transformed into a mess. Toys scattered everywhere, dishes piled up in the sink, dirty laundry overflowing. Emeka worked all day only to come home to chaos. "Adana, we need to talk," he pleaded. But she was busy recording another TikTok dance. "Not now. My followers are watching," she snapped. One day, a neighbor stopped by and gasped at the state of their living room. "Adana, what's going on?" the woman asked. Adana laughed nervously. "Oh, it's just been a busy day." But the truth was, every day was like this. Junior, once a cheerful child, began isolating himself. He missed his mother's attention. "Mummy, can we play?" he asked one day, tugging at her dress. "Not now, baby. Go play alone," she muttered, eyes glued to her screen. He sighed and walked away. That night, Emeka watched his son cry himself to sleep. Something had to change. One day, Adana decided to prank Emeka. She live-streamed a fake argument, making it look like he was the villain. "My husband is always angry. Look at him," she laughed. The video went viral. Strangers insulted Emeka in the comments. At work, colleagues whispered. He was humiliated. That night, he confronted her. "You're destroying our family for views." She rolled her eyes. "You don't understand social media success." One fateful evening, Emeka returned home. The gate was wide open. His heart pounded. Outside, baby Chimdi was crawling in the dirt, crying. "Where is Junior?" he shouted. No response. He stormed inside and found Adana dancing on live, laughing with her followers. Rage boiled inside him. The missing child Junior was nowhere to be found. "Adana, where is Junior?" Emeka roared. She froze. She had been so lost in TikTok that she hadn't noticed her son had wandered off. Panic set in. Neighbors joined the search. Hours passed. When they finally found Junior crying at the market, Emeka had made his decision. Emeka returned home, carrying Junior in his arms. Without a word, he packed Adana's bags. "You love TikTok more than your family. Then go live with it," he said coldly, dragging her to the door. "Emeka, please. I'll stop," she cried. But it was too late. He slammed the door, locking her out. Adana sat outside, humiliated. The followers who had cheered her on were gone. She had lost everything. Meanwhile, inside, Emeka held his sons, vowing to rebuild their lives, without distractions. Adana sat on the cold pavement outside her home, staring at the locked door. Her hands trembled as she checked her phone. Thousands of comments, likes, and followers, but none of them could comfort her now. Reality hit her like a thunderbolt. She had lost everything. She scrolled through her old videos. The laughter, the fun, the validation, was it all worth it? Tears welled in her eyes as she thought about Junior's sad face, Chimdi's cries, and Emeka's exhausted sighs. She had taken them for granted. With nowhere to go, Adana walked aimlessly. The streets were dark, the cold wind biting into her skin. She called a few friends, but they were reluctant to help. "You were always too busy for us, Adana. Now you need us," one of them scoffed before hanging up. She ended up at her elder sister's house. Nneka, who had warned her about her obsession with social media, opened the door inside. "I told you, Adana. Now look." Adana broke down. "I lost them, Nneka. My family. Emeka threw me out." Nneka shook her head and pulled her inside. "Then it's time you fix your life." For the first time in years, Adana lived without her phone. Nneka took it away, forcing her to reconnect with the real world. She struggled. Without validation from strangers, she felt empty. But slowly, she started to see the damage she had done. Nneka made her babysit her own kids. "Since you neglected your own, try taking care of mine," she said. Adana was overwhelmed. Dirty diapers, feeding schedules, tantrums, this was what she had ignored. She cried when she realized how much Emeka had been dealing with alone. One evening, Adana sat watching Nneka put her children to bed. She missed Junior's hugs, Chimdi's laughter. Her body ached for their presence. She tried calling Emeka. No answer. She sent a text. "I'm sorry. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but please tell me how my babies are." Hours later, a reply came. "They are fine, but they're better without you." Adana sobbed. Determined to prove she had changed, Adana took a job at a daycare. She worked tirelessly, hoping to understand what she had taken for granted. The experience humbled her. She no longer craved TikTok fame. She wanted her family back. She sent Emeka another message. "I'm changing. Please, let me see them." This time, he didn't respond. Months passed. One day, Nneka received a call. It was Emeka. "I want to meet Adana." Adana's heart pounded. She had waited so long for this moment. At the meeting, Emeka looked at her coldly. "Why should I trust you?" She showed him proof of her job, her therapy sessions, her efforts to be better. "I don't expect you to forgive me, but I love my children. I just want to be in their lives." Emeka studied her before sighing. "Junior still asks about you. I will think about it." Emeka agreed to let her visit the kids under supervision. When Junior saw her, he hesitated before running into her arms. "Mummy." She held him tight, crying. Chimdi was wary, but she was patient. She played with them, fed them, helped clean the house. For the first time, Emeka saw a glimpse of the woman he had married. Adana continued proving herself. She stopped TikTok completely. She focused on rebuilding her life. Emeka softened but still kept his distance. One evening, he confessed, "I loved you, Adana. But you destroyed us." Tears streamed down her face. "I know. I'll spend the rest of my life making up for it." Emeka, on the other hand, struggled with conflicting emotions. He saw the effort Adana was making, but the scars of the past still haunted him. One evening, as he picked up the kids after their visit with her, he noticed something different. Her apartment was spotless, the kids were happy, and for the first time in a long while, Adana's eyes held no trace of obsession, only genuine warmth. Can we talk? She asked, her voice hesitant. They sat in silence for a while before she spoke. I know I hurt you. I know I failed our family. But I have changed, Emeka. Not because I want you back, but because I needed to be better for myself and our children. Emeka saw the sincerity in her eyes. He had spent so long resenting her that he hadn't considered the possibility of forgiveness. That night, he watched her play with Junior and their baby, laughter filling the room. For the first time in years, their home didn't feel broken, it felt whole. As he drove home, Emeka couldn't shake the thought, was it time to let go of the past? A week later, Emeka invited Adana over for dinner. She arrived cautiously, unsure of what to expect. As they ate together like a family, Emeka finally spoke. You've changed, Adana. And I can see it's real. If you are willing, I think we should try again. Tears welled in her eyes. Are you sure? Emeka took her hand, squeezing it gently. Let's rebuild, together. That night, for the first time in a long while, Adana slept under the same roof as her husband and children. She had fought for her family, and against all odds, she had won them back. As she tucked Junior into bed, he looked up and asked, Mummy, are you happy? She smiled through her tears and hugged him tightly. Happier than I have ever been. TikTok almost cost her everything, but it also taught her the most valuable lesson of all. Family should always come first.